What's up, guys? Welcome to your 70th Android tutorial for the new Boson, again with me, Travis. And I don't know how many tutorials this is going to take, but this is the desired result that we're going to get. Basically, I'm clicking or touching the screen and dragging, and this ball is going wherever I'm dragging. So if you guys don't really care about how to do that, that's fine. But in this tutorial, we're going to actually learn about the infrastructure of the thread and kind of make it more complete for the most part. So what I want you guys to do is open up the My Bring Back surface here, and we're going to kind of set up some different methods that our thread can use. And let's just get going here. We have a run method, which is going to be called when we start a thread. But let's say we also want to have like a pause, because we don't want our thread running all the time. So we're going to have a way for it to pause, and we're also going to have a way for it to resume. So we're just going to create those two classes real quickly. So we just do, again, just public void pause, and then we also do public void resume. Pretty standard here. But now what we can do is let's go into our graphics or our GFX surface, and now what we can do is we're going to add the pause and resume from the activity class, again by overriding within here. So we're just going to say on pause, and we're going to say on resume. So now what we can do is we can also say, since we established kind of our class, which is our thread, the My Bring Back surface, we can say our surface view dot, and we now have these methods that we can use, such as pause and resume that we just set up. Now these aren't like standard methods, these are the ones we just set up. They don't mean anything right now, but we're going to kind of establish what they mean here in a bit. But we're just setting up our thread so it will, resume and pause and all that good stuff. So again, our surface view dot resume, and there we go. We kind of have that set up. Now let's kind of establish what we want these pause and resume methods to do. Okay, so now let's think about how we can do that. Obviously we have this variable called is running. It's going to be true or false, and while that's running, it's going to be creating our canvas, locking it, drawing to it, and then unlocking and showing. So what we can do is we can change this variable within our on pause method. So all we're going to do is say is running is equal to false now. So if this pause method gets called, is running is going to change to be false. And then if resumed, again, we're just going to say is running is equal to true. And that's kind of the basic establishment. But now let's also go a little bit further, because now every time this application reruns, or the only time this thread is actually going to start is when this constructor is called. So that's going to be the only case that happens. But what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this, and we're going to paste it within our resume, because again, anytime the on create or the over here in our graphics class, it's going to, so basically when this activity starts, it's going to do the on create, and it's going to build our holder within our constructor and not start our thread yet until it goes to the on resume. That's what the on resume is going to do for us. So there we go. Basically everything is set up for the most part to have a little bit better infrastructure for a thread. Now the only other thing we want our on pause to do is basically we're going to destroy our thread. We're going to have it stop running, and because again, when our on resume happens, it's going to create a new thread for us. So within this on pause, we're just going to kind of destroy the currently running thread, and what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to create a while loop, and we're just going to say true. So this is definitely going to be true. And what we need to do is we need to set up our thread, which is called our thread. And we're going to use a method called join. Now basically what join does is it blocks the current thread until the receiver finishes its execution and dies, as you can see over here in the description. So basically it's going to kind of, go through this while loop until our thread is joined, or until it dies for the most part. Then we're going to hit break, because then we're done. And now all we have to do is add a catch. Surround with a try and catch. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So we're going to try to let our thread join, and then we're going to catch the exceptions. So nothing too critical there. Then all we have to do is basically set our thread equal to null within the pause after it's done and after it's joined and everything. So what we're going to say is our thread is equal to null. And I kind of got this layout from a book called Beginning Android Games, because I really like the infrastructure of this thread setup. I mean, it's kind of a general setup as well, but for the most part, this is pretty similar to the example in Beginning Android Games, which is an A-Press book by Mario Zechner, I believe. So if you guys want to check that out, I want to give him credit for this because it's kind of his layout for the most part, but I really like the structure of it, so I just kind of want to explain more thoroughly what this does. And there we go. We basically have our thread set up, and I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Peace.